Hello and welcome. I'm sorry, I've just got a few little technical little things I'm dealing with here because I'm also streaming on TikTok and TikTok's not loading for me, but I'm hoping I'm streaming on TikTok. So I noticed some of the chats don't come through this thing. I want to talk tonight about a school teacher that identifies as a cat. Yes, you heard that right. A school teacher that identifies as a cat. Now, interestingly, I'm here for the comments because the comments on social media have been interesting. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here for the comments because, you read the story and you have some things go through your head, but people then have commented on it. So we are going to have a look at the story. Yes, a teacher in a school in Queensland identified it. Now, the report today came out to say that the teacher is no longer teaching. So that's a really good thing. Now, a lot of people said this is fake, but people were responding on the social media account that no, it was either their children went to the school, and there was some very interesting behaviours that were occurring as well, which to me, in all this child safety and everything environment that we live in, to me was sort of unsafe. So let's have a look at the original story. The Courier Mail was the first ones to report this story. But this was actually done by, we're going to use the Daily Mail for this one. Oh, it looks like I am live on TikTok. So I'm just going to pull it up. Just give me a moment, which is good. Yes, hello to my TikTok people. So we'll be here for a little while. And so this is cool. So yes, and I'm interested to see what you think about this, whether you think that this should be allowed to happen, whether teachers should be allowed. It's a really interesting conundrum that we're in with this, because on the one hand, you want people to be really able to express themselves, but then we have to also bear in mind that we're dealing with children. And the big issue that I've got is, since when can animals teach children? So that's there's a few little issues at play here that I think that we need to be aware of. Let me just set this up so I can see the comments on TikTok. Yeah. So we'll do picture in picture. No. Back to tab. All right. Oops, I just lost it. Right. So let's have a look at the article. Thank you for bearing with me. As I said, this is the first time that I've actually done this on two platforms. So this is all kind of fun and exciting, new and scary at the same time. I've got 4 people watching on TikTok. Hello to the TikTok people. Hello to everyone on TikTok. Hello to everybody watching me on YouTube. Yes, you can watch me. Oh, yes, sounds busy. Thank you. Right. So here we go. Here is the interesting thing. So, let's just pull this up. This is Aussie teacher who identifies as a cat, accused of hissing at students and licking the backs of their hand. Yes, you've heard that right. Yes, you've heard that right. And I'm just going to make this little here. So, the teacher has asked to be referred to as Miss Purr. Yes, Miss Purr. Perfect. A high school student, a high school teacher. So the only good thing is it's a high school teacher, if we can take a positive out of it, who allegedly identifies as a cat, has been accused of hissing at students and licking the back of their hands in class. The bizarre classroom behaviour was witnessed by students at Marsden State High School in Waterford West in Queensland. The teacher is seen wearing a black and white cat ear headband in class at school assembly and in photos first obtained by the Courier Mail. So here we are. Here is the teacher. They've blocked the face out. Students allege that the teacher asked to be referred to as Miss Purr and wears a lanyard with the word Purr on it. A relative of one student claimed the teacher had hissed at them after they failed to answer a question or pay attention in class. The teacher sits in class and licks her hand, the relative said. It's absolutely disgusting and something needs to be done about this. So that was the story. Hello, Short Order. How are you? So then we get we go to Facebook, and I'm here for the comment. Have to be here for the comments. All right. I'm here for the comments. Oops, what happened here? So we're going to go to Facebook. I just had it loaded. I just lost it all. Here we go. You'd think I'd be proficient at this. Hello, Short Order. Look, it's insane and it is insane and funny. I must say, if my child came back and told me that their teacher was a cat, I'd laugh at them. But then when you look at when you look at it further, it's really quite insane. So there's 800. So this is the Daily Mail's Facebook page. There was 885 comments to this, and I'm here for the comments. We are going to read some of these comments because they are more eloquent than what I am. Now, one of the interesting comments is that in Queensland, cats need to be kept inside, desexed, and microchipped. And so somebody actually asks whether the teacher had been neutered and desexed. Neutered and microchipped. So here are some of the comments. So it says, someone's accused of being woke. This makes me angry. As a retired teacher, I worked with a wonderful young man who was an amazing teacher and caring human being. He was gay, never advertised his private life. He was bullied, intimidated by the Department of Education, and eventually left teaching. This was in 1987. I'm grateful I'm no longer teaching. I'd be sacked for speaking up. I'd rather a teacher who is gay educate my child than one that is having a midlife crisis and meows at my child. Totally agree. Our world is weird. Someone says, well, what's a gay teacher got to do with the story? What's that got to do? Well, sweetheart, if you read the comment I was replying to, then you would know that I was replying to somebody else. So, yeah, so we're going to be in the argument. Okay, so they've talked this. She shouldn't be allowed near children. What's wrong with the education department even letting that happen? They're too focused on letting kids be bullied and assaulted by other kids now, and now cats. Disgusting. She's made the world headlines, New York Post, India Times, and many more. Incidentally, this is Federal Treasurer's Jim Chalmers' electorate, LOL. All parents who have children at that school should remove them until that mental case is removed. This is beyond a joke. How can the education department think this is acceptable? Well, people need to stand up against it. I know. Saying there's kids now thinking that dogs and cats have litter trays and all this is not normal. Shame on the so a lot of people are calling out the education department about this. Should be removed. Someone said it's called inclusion. We've gone too far. And then this is disturbing. I think I instinctively call someone they when I don't know their gender and I don't want to offend, not sure about it. Oops, what's just happened to my computer? Oops. Oh, my virtual background's shut down, so now you can see the messy background behind me. So there's a lot there about wokeness. Someone else is accused of child abuse and needs medical attention. As I said, I'm interested to hear what are your views on it. You should be at education department. Madness is a thing. Cats have no place in public buildings other than to catch mice or rats. I'd call animal welfare and have it caught, caged, desexed, and adopted out. I wouldn't have her teaching my child. I would ask my child to be removed. Why did the school and education department ever enable this? Regardless of the growing trend of schools of kids and their teachers identifying as cat or dog, this teacher and anyone who chooses to do this clearly needs mental help, says this comment. What school allows her to educate children? If she's my child's teacher, I demand she'd be moved out of the class. Licking the back of her hands is not only disturbing, it's inappropriate. Well, don't forget, you're supposed to ask consent if you touch a child. By the way, where's the head principal of the school? Homeschooling's starting to look better. We had a few dogs as teachers when I was at school. A cat might be nice for a change, says that person. I thought the rules in Queensland were that cats weren't allowed to leave their property, had to be microchipped and desexed. That's the comment I was talking about. That one I thought was rather interesting. She should be stood down. There's whole lots of stuff. Hissing at the kids and licking the back of their hands. Queensland Education needs to step in. If she chooses to identify as a cat, that's up to her, but cats don't go to work, get teaching degrees and teach children. I'd have my kid out of there so fast. What's next? People doing number 2 in litter trays? How is this allowed in school? Do what you want in your own home, in your own time, but be professional at work. If you're a cat, you can't speak. If you can't speak, you can't teach. Does the teacher drive to school? Pretty sure cats are not allowed to have a license. Is this for real or is this satire? I hope it's satire. Why is it always a dog and a cat? Blatant discrimination. Someone else says, have her spayed. I wonder if she eats cat food for lunch. As I said, I'm here for the comments. Oops, I'm here for the comments. Here for the comments. All right. If we go, is it registered? Has she been spayed? Not that I agree with this teacher, but there are many students who are catered for, being cats or dogs or whatever they choose to be. I know one school delivered a litter box for a student. What's good for the goose should be the gander. I mean, Short Order Cook says this is not education and people are paying for this. Kids' education has been disrupted so badly over the years that this is just another massive disruption and years wasted. Well, correct. I mean, love to know what's being said in the staff room. Oh, I would love to know what's being said in the staff room. I think neutering is called for, says this person. Cats don't have paid jobs. Go lie around on the lounge all day if you're a cat. What if kids are allergic to cats? Good point. Next thing you'll know, people identify as mice so the cat can chase the mouse. So it says, haha, Coda's allergic to cats, so she wouldn't be her teacher. Take it to the vet and have it put down is another comment. Take it to the vet, never teach again. I wasn't aware they provided working with children checks to cats. Missed the good Batman reference. Should have called herself Miss Kit Kat. in Victoria is that if an animal is found on school grounds, the council is called and the animal removed until it is claimed. If not microchipped and desexed, it won't be released to the owner until done. Well, I say spay the cat. That way you remove the ability to pass along any defects in the bloodline. Wife hisses at me every day. She never claims to be a cat, just normal wife. So you always get the smart comments. Aren't cats meant to be kept inside 24/7 these days? Call the RSPCA. Sonia, hello, Sonia. This is what happens when encouraging pronouns follows through to a logical conclusion. Well, didn't some people say that this would happen? This is what would happen, and it was, oh no, this is not going to happen. It is assault if you touch a student. Licking is touching, plain and simple. If she's a cat, why is she teaching at school? Desex, that's right. Put it in a kennel, take it to the vet. Hope she's been vaccinated, including for rabies, registered with the local council, and has also been spayed or neutered. Also, doesn't Queensland have a curfew on domestic cats? It does, I believe. So, this cat is roaming free, should be taken to the pound and neutered. And still teaching children. How is she allowed to stay in her job? I must say, if my child came home and said, oh, look, I had a teacher that I thought was a dragon, but she never made us, she was just mean to everybody. We called it a dragon lady. Licking students' hands, yeah, no, this is not right, especially in school. Do you want an adult who's clearly, well, they talk about someone being mentally ill to lick your hands in class? Why has the education department not put a stop to this? Pay her with a bowl of milk and some whiskers. She will change her mind. My question is she good? I'd rather 100 hand licking good teachers than a dud. They have hard lives, apparently. Marsden High School actually had a good name. It was named as a high-ranking school by the Courier Mail in recent years. Looks like it's a visit to the vet. Nutcase. I'm a former student of the school this teacher is at, and I feel that this teacher's actions have disgraced the school's reputation. Someone says she's never licked the students, just herself from what's been told. That's been twisted. Everyone states she's a lovely teacher and funny, but yes, she needs to leave this for home time. It was only a matter of time that this was aired and turned crazy. Each to their own, but do it at home. If she can identify it as a cat, I'm going to identify it as not disabled, apparently. Parents need to protest at the school, someone says. I was told by a mother that a child in her class identifies as a cat too. Even eating out of a cat bowl at school. Doesn't speak, meow, and licks a lot of his skin. Sad thing is the school allows this, as parents have complained. The parents were told the issue is about inclusion. So here's the thing. So this child is allowed to meow and purr in class. When this child goes into the real world and gets a job, how are they going to communicate? You know, how are they going to communicate in life? Cats don't go to school, let alone teach. If you wish to be a cat, go be a cat. Eat cat food, walk around on all fours, and don't wear clothes, no work, get spayed, be a cat, stop pretending to be a cat. We have an issue at the moment where we have a generation that have unrealistic expectations of life. They think that they can do everything, and certain jobs are beneath them. How are these people that are meowing a purring, how are they learning to read, how are they learning to write, how are they learning to do things that we need to do if if they can't talk? So again, you've got to be kidding me. She identifies as a cat. When did cats teach? Well, that's what bullies used to always pick on the kids that were different. Take her a can of cat food to lick up. Cats tend to clean up their entire bodies. I hope she hasn't been licking other parts of the kids' bodies. Shut the school down. How many resumes were in the bin? So this is why our kids are effed up, apparently. They can just identify as being good at their job. Well, that's what some of them do. I won't allow my children to go to that school because she isn't a dog. No jokes. I really wouldn't have my children at a school that had something like this teacher there. Thank you, Sonia, for subscribing and liking. I've got 3 watching on TikTok and 3 watching on YouTube. That's pretty cool. That I can live to both. Cats aren't teachers, so school needs to be giving her the sack. And if she has no owners, then into a cat shelter until someone adopts her, then de-sex, vaccinate, and microchip her. Someone says, my daughter went on Christmas holidays from Mr. Smith, and I'm returning to next year to Mrs. Smith. So that's interesting. So there was as I said, ask if she's been de-sexed, has a bell around her neck, had rabies shot, is registered. If she hasn't got any of the above, tell her to go home until she can prove it. Does she visit the vet when she's sick? How does she go to school? Cats can't get driver's license. If she develops an incurable disease, will she be euthanized? Does she eat cat food? Is she neutered? No need for more kittens. Does she mate with male cats? So many questions. Well, we're not given any of that. We're not given any of that. We've not been given a lot of. Oh, thank you, Sonia. We've not been given any of that information. However, apparently, Queensland teacher leaves school after alleged cat antics. So it's one of the state's largest schools. All the sources, unnamed sources, were all relatives of students at the school. This Out in Perth publication asked the Queensland Department of Education if they could provide any clarity around the claims and if the teacher actually identified as a cat. And the Department of Education repeated their previous meeting statement saying the issue had been dealt with. The school became aware of parents' concerns and the principal addressed the issue directly with the teacher as soon as they became aware. Teachers are held to the highest standards of professionalism and ethics. This behaviour is not acceptable in Queensland schools, and the teacher is no longer employed in the school. So news.com.au went a little bit further and apparently there's a teacher at Marsden High walks around like with cat ears on, wants to be called Miss Purr. This is one of the parents of one of the students. This is true. She also forces the children to call her Miss Purr, and cat screeches and growls when they don't listen. She sits in class and licks her hand. It's absolutely disgusting. On the same, so the same relative told the Courier Mail she was confused by the teacher's behaviour and expected the school had been inundated with complaints. I myself would like answers. It all could be innocent, as I know a lot of kids can be over dramatic, she said. On the same Facebook post, my mother alleged the teacher made her daughter purr for a lolly. Purr for a lolly. My boys just told me about this yesterday, another parent wrote. So again, here's the teacher. It's more frustrating that mainstream schooling and the education system we are sending to our kids to every day has teachers doing things like this. One parent told the Courier Mail, adding their dog barks at a teacher when walking past them. I want teachers who I can rely on to teach my kids what they need in life and be someone they can look up to, which isn't someone that wears ears. How can a student respect a teacher acting and walking around with animal ears? So it would seem that the teacher has either been stood down or let go. I don't know, and we don't know how many years this teacher has been. So it said that the did not return. Students of the alleged teacher, referred to as Miss Port, on Monday, the teacher failed to return to the school in Brisbane South, and education chiefs confirmed the teacher no longer worked at any Queensland school. Comments have been disabled on the school's social media accounts following widespread criticism of the alleged behaviour. Another parent said they wanted. One mum alleged the teacher made her daughter purr for a lolly. Purr. So there you go. So what are your thoughts on this? Hello, Bo. As I said, I'm here for the comments because the comments have just cracked me up a lot of the time. But there are a lot of concerned people. I don't know how we are expected to teach children right from wrong if they've got a purr all the time. Hello, Bo. Welcome. So this has been really, really big. It's inundated social media. So there has been huge backlash on this. And the Queensland Department of Education has had to really double down on this a lot. So, yeah. Oops. So, yes, I'm sorry for my background. I haven't moved my camera. That's just what it's like at my house at the moment. It is 9:37 p.m. at the moment. Right. Oh, gee whiz. I've just gone onto Katie Joy's Instagram. Wowzers. I've been so busy enjoying life. I very rarely get to check it out anymore. Talk hats. I've got one at the moment that I'm looking after. Oh yeah, so that one was about Robert Shen. We've got all of this. Look at all of this. Apparently she's blocked by the pathological liar. The thing about calling someone a pathological liar is, again, does it come down to opinion or is it facts? Look at this. Whoa. Crazy. Stand for Stephen, apparently. Apparently, the truth will always prevail. As I said, I don't know enough. So apparently, exclusive rebound spiraling addiction blows through 35K despite Cody facing several lawsuits. Is the teacher? Maybe the teacher's hiding out at my place. The cat I've got at the moment is Patches. I'm waiting for her to go for the rescue to be able to put her into a foster place because I can't keep her for much longer. It was only ever a short-term solution. But she's been with me now for nearly a month. So, yeah. Now, let's go to the Minnesota Court records. Yeah. I mean, being out in the real world and dealing with real life has been a lot of fun, not having to worry about. I just see some of the stuff that she posts and it's crazy. So let's have a look at this document that went up on the site. Let's look at this. Let's look at this letter. I did share it and everyone wanted to know what the explanation was. And I really still, the issue that we've got is that we weren't at the hearing. So what obviously happens is that you do your oral submissions, and then sometimes the judge will ask you for anything else that you would like to be considered before the judgment, before they go around and consider judgment. And it would seem that they had been advised to about submissions. Oh no, the cat's going to come and say hello in a minute. Submitted into PDFs of Instagram posts and screen recordings of Instagram videos. Say hello to the cat. Say hello to the cat. Say hello. Hello. Well, I'm just going to stop sharing for a moment so you can get close up of her. This is Patches. Say hello. Say hello, Patches. Hello. Hello. That's Patches. Because Patches has got patches everywhere. Patches has patches, believe it or not. Funny about that. Okay. All right. I mean, Patches could actually probably teach. She's very smart. Hi, Patches. Yes, says JM. Yes, so Patches could probably teach because Patches has been with me. So, So it says, Instagram posts and screen recordings of Instagram videos which were linked to Exhibit 1 of the Fifth Moore Declaration in support of defendant's motion for summary judgment. So they're saying that they've uploaded into the system PDFs, screen recordings of some of the stuff that were linked to Exhibit 1 of the Fifth Moore Declaration. So let's go see if we can find this. Yeah, Patches is very pretty. Patches, until she came to me, liked to be outside. And not allowed outside. Okay, so here is the Fifth Declaration of Jennifer Moore. And we're looking for Exhibit 1. So Exhibit 1 attaches Exhibit 1 of the copy of respondent's response to defendant's third request for production of documents. So it's got to do with the production of documents, okay? From what we can see from this fifth affidavit, Exhibit 1. Okay, submitted as PDFs are PDFs of the Instagram post screen recordings of Instagram videos which were linked to Exhibit 1 of the Fifth Moore Declaration in support of defendant's motion for summary judgment. So that relates to, as we go back to this document, response to defendant's third response for production of documents. Okay, so now we know that, okay? So they've uploaded documents in response to that request for production of documents. Okay. Now they're saying we have organized the exhibits to correspond with the Excel number row. The following Excel rows are lacking available links. So they've said we have organized all the exhibits, put them into Excel, and they match the rows. However, these, we don't have links for the evidence. Our exhibits are in sequential order minus the row numbers on the Excel sheet that lack available links. Please let me know if you run into any issues. Sincerely, Jennifer Moore. So the bit that I've highlighted there are all the rows that they don't actually have links for, that they've not been able to produce the link evidence for. And it's in sequential order minus the row numbers that lack the links. Okay? But it all relates to the exhibit that was attached to this affidavit, the fifth declaration of Jennifer Moore. So this paragraph says, on the 22nd of May 2023, I served plaintiffs with defendants' third request of production of documents that asks for each statement listed in paragraph 26 of the amended complaint. Please provide a copy of the Instagram post, reel or video, labeling each with sufficient detail such that is possible to match the post, reel or video produced with the description contained in the amended complaint. Plaintiffs declined to provide these documents, citing work product privilege. Attached as Exhibit 1 is a copy of the respondent's response to the defendant's third request for production documents. Now, we have to go back to the judgment and realize that the judge didn't make them produce all of those documents. They did not have to produce all of those documents, as we have reiterated ad nauseum. But they are still harping on about the fact that they didn't get the documents that they wanted. Doesn't matter what the court has issued. Katie hasn't got what she wanted. And so therefore, she's been hard done by. So that's what that document is about. Have I explained it well enough? I hope I have explained it well enough. Because it's a mouthful. It's very worded for what needed to be said. I mean, essentially, they just needed to say, we've uploaded the documents. These were the documents we weren't able to find links to. But no, we had to make it really wordy. So, KJ's probably asking for Shekinah stuff when it's 7M. That's the other big issue as well, is that it's 7M suing her, not Shekinah. So I'm just going to check one of her videos. I mean, she's sitting at over she's at 403 subscribers now. 403,000 subscribers. And I just don't understand. Or Robert Shin's personal stuff never came into the question. There is a page limit. We looked at that as well, and she did go well over. She did. She's got a pride joyfully unavailable. So anyway, maybe, but I won't even give her the privilege of hitting subscribe. So I'd love to know. Well, that was one of the things that she was supposed to produce in documents, and because there is this seal protective order, we're not going to know some of this stuff. And this is the stuff that we want to know. But the judge has 90 days to decide, you know. But then it could be like the case against Linda Reynolds and Brittany Higgins, which has gone well past the 90 days, and we still don't have a decision. You know, or in relation to the Bruce Lemon matter, and he's still appealing and doing all sorts of. He's still got a criminal trial to do with. So we don't have an outcome even in that one, and that's gone over 90 days. I think. I mean, for me, the longer it means, the longer it goes. I don't really know what it means, but it's it was September when it finished, and we haven't had a decision yet. So. Now, interestingly, I need to talk about another person that and I don't know how Lerman can afford. He just has some rich friends. This was interesting. This is interesting. Christian Porter, the former Governor General, and who was in a defamation case with the ABC and dropped it, is going to be on the WA Cricket Board, which is interesting. But this is a story that Crikey did, and it's very, very interesting. So Christian Porter was the Attorney General. He was caught up in all sorts of a paper bag appeared, which paid for his legal fees. So it says he closes shop, the ABC's defamation millions, and diplomats get a brand new ride. So he left Parliament, okay? So it says, remember the heady days of 2022 when the Morrison government was getting ready to go to its final election. High-profile ministers such as Greg Hunt and Christian Porter had recently announced they'd retire. The latter, who'd months earlier had resigned as Attorney General after accepting a donation from a blind trust, had already begun mapping out his career steps before exiting Parliament. In an update to Parliament's Register of Interests of February 25 that year, Porter announced he'd started 2 companies, a law firm and a consultancy. With respect to both companies, I'm the sole director. The first company has been registered for the purposes of conducting legal practice, which practice will not commence until I cease to be a member of Parliament. The second company has been established with respect to possible future writing ventures. Yes, remember those paper bag payments? 3 years later, Porter has turned a page, and we don't mean a literal page, as far as we know. No books have been written. His legal venture, Henley Sterling Lawyers Proprietary Limited, has been deregistered. In a notice that was published by the Australian Securities and Investments Commission in November last year, the regulator flagged it had received an application for a voluntary deregistration of Porter's firm. On New Year's Day, the deregistration was complete, as 6 documents show. Presumably, Porter wrapped up the company because he's begun practicing out of Geoffrey Miller's chambers. The nation's former law officer was called to the bar in 2023 and joined that firm shortly afterwards. That said, the exact reason for his company's closure is unknown, as Porter did not respond to requests for information. His consultancy firm remains active, meaning it's still possible he'll get that writing project off the ground. Now, here's the thing. So he went and he was a lawyer before he went into Parliament, came out of Parliament, set up a law firm. Now he's been called to the bar. He's actually a barrister now. When you're a barrister in Australia, you can't actually be associated with a law firm as such. You've got to be independent. And so that's where that comes in. So the other interesting thing, this was another interesting thing. So the ABC is the national broadcaster. The ABC won't tell us how much its ongoing unlawful termination between Antoinette Lattouf has cost. The case has already provided us gems such as the ABC doesn't recognise Lebanese people. Still, we have some idea of how much the broadcasters' lawyers cost when they duke it out in court regarding defamation. New documents obtained by Crikey under Freedom of Information reveal that the ABC spent $3.3 million on defamation cases from July 1, 2023 through to December 16, 2024, the date the information was applied for. In that period, six new matters were commenced, although the $3.3 million figure also spans costs for 8 matters that started prior to July 1, presumably including the $390,000 loss to former Army Commando Heston Russell in 2023, and the $150,000 settlement which former Liberal staffer Bruce Lohman in November 2023. Yes, the ABC paid Bruce Lohman $150,000 in settlement. And we only know that because the judge declared that it was a public broadcaster and that the public, i.e. the taxpayers, the people that foot the bill, deserve to know. The ABC tried to fight that and tried to keep that private and secret until the documentation had to come out. The ABC constantly refused to reveal its legal costs in fighting the Lattouf case. The documents previously obtained by Crikey under FOI show that the 2023-24 financial year, the entirety of its expenditure on Fair Work or unfair dismissal cases was on Lattouf. What proportion of the ABC's $3.42 million legal spent that financial year was on Lattouf remains unclear. But one barrister we spoke to estimated it would be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So there you go. So there's some little stuff for you. There's some stuff for you. Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, yes, we paid for it. Show us the receipts, please. Correct, short order. In the Lattouf case, it's been the ABC has not been coming out very nicely. Now, whether or not she did the right thing, what they're arguing over is whether she had a directive, that she was not to share on social media, or whether it was just a suggestion. If it was a directive, then she has breached policy. But if it was a suggestion, then the ABC is out of line. It really gets really messy. So this was yesterday. Ita Buttrose. So she was the former person in charge. So the ABC's lawyers have officially withdrawn its race argument. And Ita was in the witness box. So she was the chair, and they've just replaced the chair. She stood down. So she was asked about emails she sent following the complaints about Lattouf in an unlawful termination case. She was taken off air partway through a fill-in presenting stint on ABC Radio Sydney in December 2023. She alleged the ABC told her she breached the organisation's social media policy after sharing a post from the Human Rights Watch about the war in Gaza with the caption HRW reporting starvation as a tool of war. The ABC denied her employment was unlawfully terminated, and the parties failed to resolve the matter at mediation in the Fair Work Commission last year. So in the emails tabled to the court last week, Ita Buttrose told ABC Managing Director David Anderson, who's also left his post, by the way, that she was over receiving complaints about Miss Lattouf prior to her removal. I have a whole clutch of more complaints. Can't she come down with the flu or COVID or a stomach upset? We owe her nothing, Miss Buttrose wrote. Ms. Lattouf's lawyers argued senior executives were influenced by pro-Israel lobbyists in their decisions to take her off the air. When asked about the emails, Ms. Buttrose said she was saying she had become ill, would give her an easy exit. That's all it was, a suggestion. In response to questions why she thought Ms. Lattouf should not have been hired, Ms. Buttrose said she was a controversial broadcaster. I think in the relation to the Gaza-Israel conflict, she was an activist, and that was quite apparent. If you notice, Ita Buttrose there is in the wheelchair. She was then asked if she came to the conclusion solely from complaints received, which she agreed were inaccurate, and said she formed the view as a general observer of life. I observed from reading the letters writers felt that we were not being impartial, and I was concerned about what it would do for the ABC's reputation. And 702. The court heard Ms. Buttrose sent additional unprompted emails to complainants, directly informing them that Ms. Lattouf was dismissed that day. Ms. Lattouf's barrister then referred to an email sent by Ms. Buttrose the afternoon of the dismissal, where she forwarded a message from a member of the public thanking her and the board. It's nice to get congratulated emails, Ms. Buttrose wrote to Mr. Anderson. I didn't wish her to be removed. I didn't put pressure on anyone. It's a fantasy of your imagination. I have nothing to do with her dismissal, Ms. Buttrose told the court. Ms. Buttrose left the organisation last year after 5 years at the helm. Ms. Lattouf's lawyers argued that her political opinion and race played a role in the decision. The ABC previously argued that Ms. Lattouf's claim of racial discrimination must fail because she had not proved that there was such a thing as a Lebanese, Arab, or Middle Eastern race, but has now proposed to file an amending opening submission. We are now instructed as follows. The ABC does not put in issue that it does not dispute that the Lebanese, Middle Eastern, or Arab races exist, or that Ms. Lattouf is one or more of those races. The ABC's lawyer, Ian Neil SC, told the court on Tuesday. Yes, so there's a whole argument about race. And then former ABC radio station manager, so a lot of these people that are in court have actually since left the station, that complaints made about Ms. Lattouf's article about a protest outside Sydney Opera House in 2023 were hyperbolic and without any substance, and that he was responsible for hiring her and was acting as the head of the ABC Capital City network during her employment. After investigating her social media, he said he did not consider Ms. Lattouf to be biased in the context of the war on Gaza. Court documents show that Mr. Anderson alleged Mr. Ahern failed to do proper checks on her social media before hiring her. Mr. Ahern said he also was assured by ABC Radio Sydney content director Elizabeth Green that she had discussed social media expectations with Ms. Lattouf after complaints had been received. He then told the court he believed instruction not to post was all clear. And then they've said that the ABC's lawyers also apologised after a number of unredacted complaints from pro-Israel individuals were uploaded in an affidavit published in the federal court. The complaints and identities were subject to a suppression order last week. The unredacted information published included personal details, including names, emails, and phone numbers. I'm deeply unhappy about the error made by the ABC's legal representatives, said Justice Daryl Rangire. Mr. Neil apologised. So, yeah, so that's where we are with that. That's just that's where we are with that. I mean, it's a big mess of an issue, and I don't know whose side to take. It's all going to come down to whether the social media policy was clear or whether she had breached it. I don't know. I can't give you that. I mean, and none of us were there. Okay. On that note, I'm going to head off. Thank you to those on TikTok that are watching me. Hello to TikTokers and to the YouTubers. Hello to the YouTubers. I'm hoping to do more on both mediums and platforms. I think I have to get so many. I don't know. I can only live stream through a stream company at the moment. I can't live stream on my phone on TikTok. So I actually have to do it this way. So, so thank you very much. I mean, I could you go ticket, what is it? Like and share and whatever. Now, there's also a way that I can download this, I think, and put it on my channel. So I will probably do this. I'll probably try and download it and put it onto my TikTok, I think. We'll see how that goes. Oh, moderation settings. Oh, I didn't know that. Cool. It's amazing what you find. But yes, I'll keep you. Good to see you. Yes, that's good. So I'm actually working 2 days at the moment. I've decided. I know 3 days at the moment, so I'm having 2 days off. But next week I've got to go to. I've got my cousin's funeral to go to, and there's something on Thursday. I don't know. And then the following week I've got to do my CPR again. I've got to update my CPR to yeah. But anyway, look, for those of you that are watching on replay, I'm really interested to know what you think about the teacher as a cat as a teacher, whatever. That's just bizarre, right? And I want to thank you all for watching, and I will catch you again next time. Bye for now.